Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Tech Boiz, episode 5.
Wow.
Yeah, episode 5. I'm surprised you guys made it this far. Here joining me today is not Peyton.
No.
He's gone.
I guest star on this podcast today with some very unfortunate news. Peyton, unfortunately, is sick in the hospital. He consumed about 10 liters of the Gamer Girl bathwater, and as a result has contracted hepatitis C. So while he's getting rested up, getting better in the hospital, I valiantly took his place to guest star on this podcast. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Very excited to be here today.
If you don't know who this is the Lord Flanagan. Very popular guy. And I'm very honored to have you on the show today.
Thank you. You can call me James.
Yeah, James.
Just for you.
Okay. Cool. Alright. So, first up, we always go and do our comments. And sadly, Peyton is not here to do the comments. So
I'll show him up and show him how a real man reads comments. We have only one comment this week, a highlighted comment from Twitch71. He says, "Heyo, new sub here. Nice work, boys." And I can't take credit for that nice work, but I do appreciate the support as a fellow fan of the Tech Boiz. What do you think, Tanner? What do you think about this new founded support that you guys are getting?
All I can say is thanks for the sub. I hope you keep watching. Pretty sure you're the first subscriber of the new Tech Boiz channel. This will still be going on the Ballplayer 42, just to kind of get the people to go over to Tech Boiz. Our new channel, we're going to be publishing everything on it. Yeah, give us some watch time and some likes.
Unless you're listening on Spotify,
Podbean
iTunes.
Or iTunes, yeah.
Podbean, right? That's the other one?
Podbean.
Yeah, Podbean.
For now.
Personally, I'm a YouTube listener. It's just what's easiest for me. I don't have Spotify, and I don't really use the iTunes. I listen to all my podcasts on YouTube. So that's what I recommend myself. Speaking seriously, though, it has been really nice to watch the journey of the Tech Boiz. I started listening at the first episode, and now they're already at 5, and I already know that they're just going to keep going with this and getting bigger. And it's actually a really cool thing, like having personally known these two and being able to just listen to them talk about the kind of stuff that we sort of have small talk over every day. It's pretty dope, and I dig it.
It's pretty fun. I enjoyed it a lot, and I think Peyton does too. And I hope you enjoy this episode too, James.
Oh, I know I will. I'm going to be listening to this one very often.
So, for this week, I have to ask you, well, what have you been doing? Anything important or...
Well, I mean, everything I do is important.
Yeah,
it's me.
True.
No.
Busiest man in the business.
No, I've been working a lot, but besides work, I have invested my time in movies and Mario Maker. Mario Maker has been really interesting. I didn't play the first one, so I've jumped into the second one, and I've tried playing some levels. I've noticed that I'm absolutely terrible on at Mario, almost all forms of Mario. So that's been rough.
When you add the ability for the users on the platform to make their own content, you make the game 10 times more difficult than it usually is.
100%. And I have been awful at every level that I've tried to play, and it's made me rage pretty hard. But I did make one level of my own. It's pretty dope. I tried to make it like different. I called it Maverick, and you're just propeller Luigi. You get the propeller power up, and you just fall down slowly, avoiding obstacles. Not to brag, but it's already gotten like 6 plays and 1 like. So I'm kind of moving my way up in the world.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
For me, I've been playing a little bit of GTA with the new Diamond Casino update. Yeah. I got a new game called I can't say the name, Automa Chef or something, but it's a puzzle game. I think it might have actually be on this week's news. No, it's not. Okay, it got released like last week, I think.
Nice.
And I think I actually talked about it last week, or about upcoming games. It's really fun. I enjoy it. You have to make basically a efficient enough system so it doesn't use too much power and it doesn't use too many ingredients and waste ingredients. But you have to fulfill orders at a restaurant by using robots and robot arms, and there's dumb arms that only move in one direction, and then there's smart arms that know when like a patty is cooked, and so it can move it to the right or left or wherever it wants.
Sounds like real world experience for what we're coming to. I mean, I feel like everything's going to be automated here at a certain point.
Yeah, definitely. And the funny thing is, like, you get into the campaign, and the robot is like, I am here to help you design these things so that we can take over human jobs. I mean, boost the economy. And,
right. Boost the economy.
Yeah, and then, like, the robot's probably going to turn bad by the end of the campaign or something, but... Anyway.
With GTA, didn't they just tease a new thing for GTA 6? Yeah.
I haven't seen the GTA 6 yet.
It was some sort of like trailer for like GTA like Nationwide 6 or something like that. I haven't watched the video. I just saw it in my YouTube feed and I was like, huh.
I'll have to look at that. Yeah, I've only been playing the casino because I just log on like every day, buy my 50,000 chips, waste them on blackjack, and then go spin the wheel to see if I can win the new car or whatever.
I need to get into GTA Online again. I remember that being really fun, and I've seen a lot of good things with it.
It's pretty fun. It's also kind of a grindy experience, but it's going good. Also, before we start, we have our challenge, like usual, that if we say a certain word, we have to drink some nasty stuff. And this week, so James is lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
So of course, we got some milk. But to add it for me, we got some tapatio to put into the milk in the shot glass. So it's going to be real nasty and real spicy.
That way we have a nice little cocktail set up for us. I'm sure I'm going to watch myself real close. Hopefully I won't slip up at all. But if I do end up having to take a shot of this milk, it's going to mess with my insides a little bit due to my my condition.
And the word for this week is...
episode.
Oh.
So starting now... we are going to be unable to say the word episode.
Yeah. Okay. So, first off, into the news, we have... Oh, I thought it was news. I was like, wait. Okay.
Yeah, PTSD flashbacks. Taste the lemon juice.
We have 3 items on the game news report. First off, we're just going to talk about some GTA stuff and on my experience. So, I first logged on, and I spawned outside the casino.
Right.
And... I bought the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack, which is like $20. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I don't really play GTA Online. Maybe this will get me into it. Yeah. And it did. It got a whole bunch of like resources and cars and stuff I like to drive around. But I get into the casino, get my free penthouse because I had Twitch Prime.
Ooh.
So I got a little crash pad. And with the crash pad, I get the VIP access, which gets me to the blackjack tables. And I spin the wheel. I get $20,000. I'm like, okay, whatever. I go spend my money on blackjack. I get up to about 80,000 chips, and then I go up to the high risks tables, and I lose it all.
So you've been developing a gambling addiction.
Yeah, I've been developing a gambling addiction. And it's a funny thing, because like you can use real money to buy these chips, except you're limited like 50,000 chips a day, which is like 50,000 GTA dollars.
Interesting.
But, there's been a big controversy over this. First off, because gambling isn't allowed in like a whole bunch of countries throughout the world. So
right.
There's like 50 countries that are able to go into the GTA Online casino and buy the penthouse and do like the jobs and stuff that come with it.
Yeah.
But they can't actually gamble or do anything because the gambling's not allowed in their country.
And the chips can only be redeemed for GTA money, right? Not for
the only GTA money. It's like $1 per
interesting.
chip.
And it's just like is it the idea that you're putting money into it and then you're gambling with like real world money, or is it just the idea of gambling that they can't really tolerate?
I think it's the idea of gambling.
Wow. Huh.
And it's really weird. Like and then you have this wheel, which is a free 1-day spin. That's all you get. It's every day you get a free spin. And I got $20,000 both days that I've done it so far. And I mean, I think there's like actually countries that don't allow you to do that either. It's like a loot box command. Loot box, like
right. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Is like reminds me of the whole loot box controversy that some companies are currently under fire for.
Yeah, because I can remember like I think Belgium like completely just takes out loot boxes out of every single game. Like you're not allowed to get any of the loot boxes like CS:GO boxes, like anything like that.
Damn. I don't know how I would survive. When I first got Overwatch and it first came out, I mean, I'm sure you remember this. I've spent over the course of like 3 years or something like that, or not 3 years. I don't know. Overwatch hasn't been out that long, I think, but over the course of like a good couple of years, I spent $300 on Overwatch loot boxes. I like the skins. I think they're dope.
Like, it's not tradable stuff like in CSGO, where you can get a profit out of it and get real world money. But...
Well, I mean, I think it has some clout, too. Like, if you get killed by a dude with, the limited edition Reaper Halloween skin, like, you're gonna be a bit peeved off if it's just, rather than if it's just, like, a normal Reaper or something like that.
Definitely. So there's that, about the GTA Online Casino. It's still pretty fun. Don't go to the slot machines. I have heard that blackjack and horse races are the most profitable. Horse races are like a little different in strategy just because how like odds work and like percentages work, and it's really weird because like you can make almost 200% profit.
Wow.
On just horse races if you just are patient enough.
I wonder if you can like play the system. You know how people will go like real world casinos and like count cards and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I wonder if there's anybody that's doing that in GTA or if it's even possible.
I feel like they definitely are trying. Maybe I'm feeling like it's in the works because people would just go on there and just sit at a blackjack table. Like, I've been in lobbies with people who just sit at blackjack tables. They make a whole bunch of money out of it.
And I'm sure there's some app, too, where you can, like, put in, well, this card showed up, and this card was laid down flat or something like that. And, like, there's the app will, like, count what cards are there for you.
Next up on the news is, by Oscar Davis over at GameSpot. Ooh. This one is, actually, it's been almost 7 days ago. A new Plants vs. Zombies shooter was announced for PS4 and Xbox One. Basically, what this says is that EA quietly like delivered these emails all around to other journalists that said, "Hey, you're invited to play test the new Plants vs. Zombies shooter, codenamed Picnic," which is, I don't know, pretty cool. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, I never really got into it.
Right. I remember seeing trailers for it.
I don't remember how long ago did that come out? I think it was a while ago.
Because, I mean, like, the timeline for Plants vs. Zombies was such a weird, like, phenomenon. Because it originally started as, like, the sort of, like, tower defense. Yeah. Way back in the day, like...
But, like, I remember the graphics not being that good, so I'm thinking, like, Xbox 360?
Yeah, no, it was definitely, like, what was that, 3rd gen? 4th gen?
3rd?
I want to say that's 3rd gen. Yeah.
Well, 3rd gen for PS3.
Right.
It was just like 2nd gen for Xbox, but yeah, I don't know, but I think hopefully it will look pretty cool. It said that a new Plants vs. Zombie shooter should release this fall. So I bring that up.
Yeah, no, it's interesting that they're deciding, because like I was able to comprehend why Plants vs. Zombies first like blew up the way that it did, because like it's a easy to play, easy to understand, nice cosmetic, or a nice visual tower defense. Like, same reason Balloon's tower defense like blew up. Same like sort of reasons that people got into that. But I don't really understand why they took that and then translated it into a first-person shooter. Like, and now that they're making a sequel for it, that's even more sort of jarring for me, because like, how did they even get successful enough to make a third sort of installment of that? Or, excuse me, a second installment of the shooter?
So, it's been 5 years. So, the first Garden Warfare spinoff launched for PS4, PS3, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and PS4, or PC, in 2014, which was 5 years after the original Plants and Zombies. So, it is 5 years after Garden Warfare. Wow. But the original Plants vs. Zombies got like a sequel in 2016.
Okay.
So
yeah, I do remember that. I played that sequel. I remember that.
Yeah. So there's that. Next topic. Is it that one? Oh gosh. Okay. Is by Connor Sheridan over at Games Radar. This one's about the Nintendo Switch Joy-Con drift. Basically, people who had their Nintendo Switch and used them a lot had a phenomenon where you won't be moving your Joy-Cons, but they'll move by themselves type thing.
Yeah.
I've had that experience any of that?
I've had that experience with like other controllers, but I've been having a weird phenomenon with my controllers where like I'll be pressing buttons and then it just won't register. Like there's what's the word? Input lag. Oh. So maybe I might have to take a look at this.
Yeah, because they're offering free repairs for Joy-Cons now. It says, quote, customers will no longer be requested to provide proof of purchase for Joy-Con repairs. End quote. The internal customer service details say, quote, additionally, it is not necessary to confirm warranty status. If a customer requests a refund for a previously paid Joy-Con repair, you have to confirm the prior repair and then issue a refund, end quote.
Nice. So that's honestly really good of Nintendo. They've always been kind of nice about... Like, they've been a good company that understands, like, how to treat customers. They've been really good with customer service.
Yeah, that it's a really good move for Nintendo.
The Switch controllers are very high-quality controllers, too. Like, I've watched people do, like, scratch tests and stuff on them. And, like, even, like, the A, B, X, Y buttons. Like, if you look into those and you look at how they're made, like, the lighters on there aren't just, like, painted on or whatever. Like, they're not... Yeah. They won't smear off after, like, couple like months of use or whatever. They're actually like they're made with the buttons, so they're like fully, I don't know how to explain it. They're like the full plastic though. They're like, if you try to scratch the buttons down, they go all the way down to the... Thank you, bartender. Tanner's pouring me a bit into my glass of water. Yeah, they actually go all the way down like to the full button, which has been really nice. Not to mention, like, the Switch, the Joy-Cons are just so revolutionary. The Switch itself is just such a revolutionary console.
Yeah, the only thing this begs ask a question is what would this bring towards getting a Nintendo Switch Lite without their movable Joy-Cons?
Okay. I have an issue with y'all. I swear it's Nintendo Switch Lite, isn't it? I really feel like it's light, but y'all always say Lite when you bring it up on this podcast. And this has been something I've had some words about, my friend.
I do say elite, like I say it in a weird ways, but it could be. I think it is light.
I'm 90% sure it's light. Like, having taken a look at it.
Elite. Now that I'm saying it, I feel like I'm dumb.
So actually, I have taken a look at this and tried to like sort of research the purpose behind the light myself, and I'm even with this issue of a Joy-Con drift, I still don't see the purpose in a light, just because, like, having taken a look at Switch prices and stuff like that, like, personally, a close friend of mine just bought a used Switch online for $160. Oh, so that's $40 less than a light. And then you get the capabilities of the detachable Joy-Cons and
the tabletop mode, and you can dock it, right. Which is another thing. Like, a lot of games, like Mario Party,
right.
The one that's not compatible with this light. So yeah, I think a used Joy-Cons or used Switch is actually a really good deal. So we'll see how Nintendo does. Also, I was thinking about their new one that's coming out, like their new revised Switch or whatever that has the bigger battery life and stuff like that.
That's gonna be a good...
If they're gonna have like a solution to the Joy-Con problem by then.
I imagine they will. But the Nintendo Switch Pro or whatever it's gonna be like, I assume it'll be like the Xbox X or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be a really good move for them, like, business wise, just because the Switch has been one of the most successful consoles like they've ever had. It's blown, like, it's matched up to the Wii. The Wii was a revolutionary console that really sort of revolutionized the gaming industry. And then the Wii U was the exact opposite, kind of just plugged in. But it was a good stepping stone to the Switch.
Yeah, it was kind of like the same way it goes with Super Mario Maker 2, or Super Mario Maker came out on the Wii U.
Right.
It got some attention, didn't get a whole bunch.
Right.
But it was kind of a good idea where Nintendo's like, okay, this game did actually pretty well for the amount of people that were on the platform at that time.
Yeah.
But we got some feedback, made some improvements, and they got it on the bigger platform, the Switch, and now everyone's playing. It's insanely big now.
It is, and it's much better. I will say it's much better. So I think, honestly, what if I was Nintendo, what I would do, like, having seen this information with the used Switches, I would sort of maybe look into starting some sort of company-sponsored program for, like, selling used Switches and getting them out there, so that way you can get more of a market base for customers that can't afford Switches. I get the purpose behind the Lite. I get getting it for younger children and stuff like that. But if they want to market it towards a broader audience, and they want to make it more affordable, I would sort of look into something about repairing broken switches and like purchasing old switches and then
like
reselling them.
Refurbished.
Yeah.
Almost.
Or maybe like sponsoring GameStop to do it for them or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I feel like that'd be a good idea.
That'd be a great idea.
So here are the upcoming games for this week. You can get the list over at Games Radar. The Blackout Club coming out for PC, PS4, Xbox One, July 30th. Mutant Year Zero, Seed of Evil come out PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, July 30th. Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown, ADFX01 Morgan DLC. Apparently it's a DLC for Ace Combat 7. I haven't played that game. I heard it's pretty cool, but coming out July 31st. Crystal Defense for PC coming out July 31st. Fortnite Season 10. Oh boy. Fortnite. Coming out for all the platforms August 1st. Except for, it doesn't say mobile on there.
No, it doesn't.
I think it might be still on there. I don't know. Dry Drowning coming out on PC August 2nd. Sounds like an indie? I don't know.
I'm always a fan of some indie games.
Oh, and here's a big one. Madden 20.
Wow.
Whoa. This one's going to make a lot of money, even though it's like a repeat of last year, basically.
Which all Maddens have been. I'm obviously like not the sportiest guy. I'm not, I don't watch professional sports all the time. But I do not understand the craze behind like the Madden, NBAs, all that. Like,
also, is there a Madden or NBA? I think there's NBA. Yeah, definitely there's NBA. But is there a Madden on Switch? Because this is not coming out to Switch.
No, I don't think there is. Now that you mention that,
that's not a very smart move.
No, it's not, because I will admit releasing the NBA or whatever. There's a special name for it.
2K.
2K19 or whatever. Releasing that on the Switch, really good business idea. I understand. Okay, so I understand why people like the games. I don't understand releasing them every year. I guess maybe to stay updated with like player rosters and stuff like that.
Player rosters is a thing,
but like you could just do like DLC or even up. I mean, I will never advocate for DLC, but like just like release updates with that, and then do like one for a console or like one every couple of years.
Yeah.
Like
it's like you can make a Madden that's called Madden. I don't know what else you can call it.
Madden Switch.
Madden Switch. Yeah, Madden Switch. Madden Xbox. But you update it every single year.
Right.
But do it in like a 5-year cycle instead of a 1-year cycle. So you release a new game every 5 years, but then the graphics jumps is a lot bigger. You get more people into it.
Right. And I honestly wonder if people would be more inclined to buy one of their games if they do that.
The last Madden game I bought was Madden 16.
And
it still looks the same to me.
No, 100%. Like, same thing. The last time I was interested in a Madden game was probably like Madden 2014. Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, I have friends that still play like NBA or 2K12 or something like that. Or I don't know how far back it goes, but they play like the older versions that they still have just because that's what they already have, and there's no real purpose for them to really upgrade.
Yeah.
There isn't.
So that was the game news.
I'm interested that Fortnite's still going strong. I'm gonna be honest, I've really dropped hard off of the Battle Royale scene.
So if you guys didn't know this, I found this out kind of by myself. I checked the other day on the Minecraft Discord, and it surpassed Fortnite in members as 500,000 members, I think. Wait, 500,000, I don't know. But it has more than Fortnite, which is actually super cool.
That is nice. See, now, Minecraft I can get back into. Yeah, I have gone back into Minecraft. Yeah.
Minecraft on Switch. Bedrock Edition is very popular right now. Like, it's super easy to get in playing with friends. You don't have to... you can do cross-platform, all that type of stuff.
I didn't realize that Bedrock and Java were two different things, and I do miss Java Edition. I really do. Because Bedrock is so new and confusing.
Yes, and it also runs off of like C++ type of coding instead of Java.
Yeah.
Because Java, their chunk loading is so chunky and like it's really buggy still.
Yeah.
But when they have the C++, it runs a lot more smoother. It's a lot easier to run. You have like the smooth chunk loading where it loads individual blocks, and it's just crazy how
I can see that. Yeah.
Different it is.
Yeah, no, it's very different. Like, I remember I was walking around the world that I just started, and I like hopped in a river to like go across it and I look down and I see what's called, I don't know if you're updated on like the Bedrock version, but I see what's called a drowned.
Oh yeah, there's drowns, but
yeah. And it was just swimming at me, and I was like, "What is this? I've never seen this before." And it's a pretty scary looking thing, honestly.
It's an underwater zombie. So
yeah,
if a zombie goes underwater, drowns, dies, turns into a drowned. Then there's also desert ones.
There is
that like desert zombies. I can't remember what they're called right now. I think they're like husks.
They're creepy, dude.
They're real creepy. But yeah. I've been playing on a Minecraft server for quite a while. It's been a grind, but
it's cool again. Fun. It's finally cool again. Same with Pokemon Go, which I do have a story about when we get there.
Okay, so yeah, I'll hand it over to you, James. You can get your stories going.
Perfect.
If you're still watching this, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications.
Hit that bell.
Hit that bell.
So I have an article also from GameSpot by Kenzie. Oh, wow. I'm sorry. Or no, Kevin. Kevin Knezevic?
Sorry, Kevin.
Yeah, sorry, Kevin. Your name is a bit hard to pronounce. Zivic. Something like that. Anyways, basically, it's talking about how Pokemon Go had the new overhaul update with Team Rocket. It's titled Pokemon Go Team Rocket Invasion happening today. So...
Wait, there's a new update for Pokemon Go with Team...
Yeah. So so Pokemon Go, I recently got into it again with the release of Detective Pikachu, because I mean, like, that's just hype, dude. You know, like,
couldn't you catch a Detective Pikachu?
You can. I have one. Yeah, dude.
What?
It's sick. Yeah. So it's cool again. I think, my personal opinion, I think Detective Pikachu made Pokemon Go cool again.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think it brought a lot of people back in.
Yeah, it definitely brought me back. And so I've been playing a bunch of Pokemon Go. I get on every day. I've been involving my boys, been trying to get a bit stronger. And one thing that I like about Pokemon Go is that they listen to their fans. They listen to their fans really well. Way back in like 2016 or whatever, when it first started, they didn't have a whole lot going on, and so a lot of people fell off from playing. So... like, one big thing is that they didn't have trainer battles, and they didn't have gym battles, and they didn't have a lot of stuff like that. And now, like, having come back to it, you can battle in gyms, which is pretty sick. I'm always trying to, like, keep the gym in my hometown, like, down, keep my guys in it. And you get actual, like, Pokemon coins for it, which you usually have to pay money for. So it's a cool way to, like, get rewards. You can now battle with other trainers, which is pretty sick. So me and my girlfriend, well, Avery, her and I will always be like battling just for fun. And it's pretty entertaining, honestly. Like, we'll do crazy teams. Like, I'll do a 3 Snorlax team against her, like 3 legendary teams. And it's really fun, honestly. And then there's raids where you can get like legendary Pokemon. Yeah.
Do you do those like groups of people? Like, is it easier?
It is easier if you do it with groups of people. I've had my... butt handed me a good couple times trying to do a raid on my own.
What I've heard from Pokemon Go fans is like there's like a whole bunch of new features where like you just, if you're walking in big cities and like you have your phone off, but like when you pass a Pokestop, like the Pokemon Go sound will like go off, and then you just look at your phone, get the Pokestop, put it back down, and you can keep walking again. Yeah,
it's been pretty nice. And then there's it'll let you know when like raids are going on near you and stuff like that. Ooh. It's been really, really nice. And another thing that like a lot of fans have been talking about is wanting the inclusion of like NPC trainers to battle. So usually in the games that's Team Rocket.
Yeah.
Or some form of Team Rocket, like Team Plasma or whatever. And they finally included that. They teased it a lot at Pokemon Go Fest in Germany. So they had like a hot air balloon in Germany with like a R on it and stuff like that.
Oh.
And then they had like a Meowth like mass raid show up. So a lot of like Pokestops had or gyms, because that's what the raids happen on, is gyms. They had like Meowth on there. And then they finally released the Team Rocket update, and what it does is it makes it so that whenever you go to a Pokestop that has this sort of weird like purplish like glow to it, there'll be a Team Rocket grunt there, and you can battle him. And it's just like if you're battling another trainer, like another person. Yeah, okay. It's the same 3v3 setup, and it's pretty sick. They have these like shadow Pokemon that are like corrupted or something. I don't really understand it, to be honest with you.
I'll have to get into it and play it and see how it goes.
Yeah, it's pretty sick, and they're pretty strong too. Like the one I went up against had a 3700 CP Venusaur.
What?
And then you get a chance to capture it after, but I think they toned down the CP when you go to capture it, but still, it was pretty dope to, like, go to capture that, and then, I didn't capture it, unfortunately, but yeah, it's the same as, like, if you're doing a raid, but you go up against an NPC, which is pretty cool, and you get to do, like, multiple battles, and it's a nice sort of random encounter. They're more frequent than raids, which is pretty nice. Let's see if the article has anything to say. After numerous teases, Team Rocket finally makes their debut in Pokemon Go earlier this week. The villainous trainers would take over various Pokestops around the world and challenge players to battles using their shadow Pokemon. Although Rocket sightings up until now have been relatively rare, particularly if you live in rural areas, you'll have a better chance to encounter some Rocket grunts today, July 28th, thanks to a special limited time event. That's right. On their Instagram, they've been teasing the Team Rocket Global Takeover, which started in NYC. They had they posted, like, people cosplaying as the grunts, like, going around, like, vandalizing places to look like Team Rocket stuff. And then after that, they did that, they said, and in NYC they had, like, a bunch of raids set up for Team Rocket. I think that's because that's where their biggest player base is. And then after they did that, they posted something saying, like, while everybody was preoccupied with New York, they got things set up, like, all over the world. So now raids are a lot more frequent and stuff like that. Cool. It's been pretty dope. I've seen them around a lot. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to stop and do one in a while, but it's pretty dope. It's really nice to see that happening to the player base.
Just so you know, I'm downloading Pokemon Go right now.
Right, because you deleted it, right? Because you got angry at it?
Yeah, it wasn't tracking my steps at work, and so I was like, okay, screw this. Why am I working?
That is one thing I noticed, is that it's pretty weird about tracking steps. But I'll do, like, the...
I'll send you some Pokemon gifts or whatever they are from France.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been grinding pretty hard on that. Why did I open Pokemon Go? I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to open up my news so I can go to my next article, which is this one I'm pretty happy about. It's from Green Man Gaming, and let's see. It's published by Steve Boxer, I believe. And the headline is Respawn working on system to force Apex Legend cheaters to play with each other.
Oh, yes, I did see that.
Yeah, I sent this into the group chat. And basically, in a Reddit post, Respawn said this week we also wanted to provide a little visibility into some of the work that's been going on behind the scenes to combat cheating. Among the anti-cheating measures, it said it is prepared to using machine learning to create behavior models that detect and auto-ban cheaters, and matchmaking that matches detected cheaters and spammers together, which is going to be pretty interesting, honestly, because we've all played that game where you come across a hacker and, you know, you can't shoot him at all. He's flying around.
Yeah, I've actually played a little bit of Apex yesterday. I got into it for a little while. I didn't win any. I didn't even get close to winning any.
Never played Apex myself, but
you should get into it. It's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, it's free to play too, ain't it?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I will have to get into it.
It'll just take a while to download.
Yeah, I got time.
But yeah, I hopped into it, and I was just kind of thinking, what if, like, a person gets reported enough, so, like, the machine's just like, okay, he's definitely hacking, he's getting reported enough, and then all of a sudden he gets in a lobby, and there's just people flying around everywhere.
That is something, because it is an algorithm. It's not an actual, like, case-by-case basis, so that is a little scary. And that has happened, like, Overwatch, they have permabans set up for cheaters, and that's happened, and players are actually, like, really skilled and really good with, like, their mouse tracking and stuff like that. There have been players that have been banned and lost all access to their game that they spent $60 for just because they were good at the game and they played a lot, which is controversial. I understand why Blizzard did that. And I think it's Respawn, right? That's behind Apex Legends. Yeah, Respawn. I think that they'll be a bit better about that just because there'll be a bit more of a case-by-case basis that they can track and do good appeals for. And you aren't necessarily losing access to the game. You'll just be in a lobby where with lots of cheaters. And I mean, like, honestly, I think it's a good punishment too if you are cheating, because you still get to play the game.
But you don't really get any fun. I mean, if you're hacking in a game, like, what is the fun?
Exactly. Like, you're gonna win no matter what. So, I mean, almost it's like a It's like a new challenge for everybody. And I honestly would be really interested to watch a hacker match, you know, just to see like
versus Hacker Man.
Yeah, 100%. I think that'd be dope to see like dudes flying around, invincible that you can't kill, and just see how it plays out and see the natural progression of the game going. Yeah. Because I mean, we've always had those experiences with hackers where it's like, man, like this just takes all the fun out of the game because you can't really do anything. But like, I think that'd be, I think it's a really good punishment, and it's something I really wish I could experience myself, like just to get a look into.
It's crazy stuff.
It's very interesting.
It's very interesting stuff.
Next article I have isn't necessarily a gaming article, but it has to do with sort of the same realm of things. It's a pop culture article. It's written by Bill Shannon over at, where are you? What is this? Where's Central Alpha? Sorry, I'm not professionally set up for this as much as I should be. We are Central Alpha, and it's pretty odd news site. The abbreviation is WTAJ, so I'm very confused. But anyways, written by Bill Shannon. And the headline is, Group Raiding Area 51 would be the 4th largest army in the world. So we've all seen the memes about that Facebook event to Naruto Run to Area 51 to dodge bullets and see them aliens. Personally, I'm going myself.
Slap them alien cheeks. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, 100%.
You guys call it a meme, I call it vacation.
100%. There you go. And so far, almost 1.2 million people have signed up saying that they are going to go to Area 51. Now, obviously, some of these people don't even have any intention of going to Area 51.
Yeah, they're doing it for the fun.
But if all 1.2 million of these people had the intention of going to Area 51, they would be the 4th largest army in the world, trailing behind China's army of 2.1 million and the army of India and the US, which are both over 1.3 million. So if they did show up and they were 100% serious about doing this or anything else, really, they would have a bigger army than North Korea, even. So, I mean...
Let's just storm North Korea.
Yeah. I'm sure North Korea has some, kooky shit going on up there. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Am I allowed to curse on this guy? Yeah. Okay. Kooky stuff going on up there. So, I just thought that was really interesting, especially because, 1.2 million people could do a lot of stuff. It's very, imagine if they were serious about this or something else and what they could accomplish if they wanted to accomplish something. It's a whole little private army.
Democracy.
They could take over they could be they could literally have a coup with the US, maybe.
Honestly, get some alien technology,
just show us what's inside.
Expose the lizard people.
I want to know. I want to know what love is. And that's all I have for gaming and pop culture news.
Alrighty, so this episode's
we're a little low on time.
No.
What?
I'm gonna.
Oh! I'm sorry. I probably just clipped the mic there. My bad. But well, I thought it was gonna be me.
I was saying this is actually going longer than I thought. Because I don't have shit.
I was this close to saying it too. I was gonna be is the you know what? Do we need to? Right, I have some more stuff for the you know what?
Some milk and some.
Ooh, I can pour it for you, dude.
Okay.
Be your bar. Ooh, that was almost bad. My bad.
It's alright.
Be your bartender here.
Put the milk in first. I'll put this in first.
Let's do a bit of both. So we'll start with a topper of Tapatio.
Topper. How much are you gonna put in there?
So we'll sort of rim the glass out a little bit. Okay, come on. Okay, we'll just get stuff at the bottom because it's not cooperating with me. There we go.
Ugh. Tapatio by itself is actually so nasty. My stomach was so upset by the end of that episode that we just did shots of it.
Dude,
it was so...
The end of that what?
I had to do fucking 2 now.
Oh, today is a good day, my friend. And I thought that was going to be a bad word. I was literally going through, I'm like, news wouldn't be good. Tech wouldn't be good. Episode might be a good one, but I wasn't.
It's like orange milk.
gonna be a good one. Bottoms up, my friend.
Do you fill this up higher than actually me and Peyton do? Like, usually we, like, get, like, a little less than that just so we can do it all at once, because I feel like we're...
I wasn't sure how high I should fill it up. I filled it up pretty close to the brim. Ooh! Spicy!
Oh!
Bad?
Yeah, I feel bad. Oh!
Let's see. Well, I'll do a little ASMR.
Oh! Oh, that's fucking terrible. It's actually disgusting.
Nice.
Holy shit.
I'll tell you what, buddy. I'll do this next one for you.
Okay.
Just because.
You don't have to put as much milk in there.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So we got 1%. Personally, I prefer whole milk when I do drink milk. I just take my dairy pills. But, there we go. Oh. Are we putting some Tapatio in there, or are we just going... Okay.
Let's put a little
drop.
tiny bit.
Never been much of a hot sauce man. I'm curious as to how this is going to work, just because, like, milk is usually what you drink to, like, counteract hot sauce.
It's like, okay, so spiciness, it went straight to my stomach again, so I feel freaking horrible.
So,
but, like, the spiciness level is not bad. It's just, like, it tastes like vinegar. Like, vinegary. It doesn't have any vinegar in it.
I'm curious and I want to be included, so I'll take this shot for you. Plus, I have a feeling that I messed up somewhere in this. Yeah, I might need to take a chaser of your Coke if you're okay with that.
Yeah, that's okay.
Your Coca-Cola. Okay, this one's for you, my fellow Tech Boy listeners. Bottoms up. Oh. It like, at first it was just milk. I'm like, okay, like, I've just drank milk. Like, my stomach's gonna hurt here in a second. And then, like, I got slapped with hot sauce. Oh, I'm take a little sippy of this.
Yeah, it's gross, isn't it?
I mean, like, thankfully, I think it sort of separated out for me just a little bit.
Where's the lid for it?
Oh, right here. Yeah, it separated out a little bit, which was nice, because, like, at first it was just milk, just fine. And then I got hit with hot sauce, and it started to sting my mouth a little bit. Oh, now it's in my... I can feel it. I can feel it in my stomach.
It just goes straight down. It's going to be a bad combo for you.
It's going to be interesting.
Explosive diarrhea. Okay.
Oh, no.
So, we're just going to finish this off real quick. This news thing.
I do have some market news to cover up for my boy Peyton, since he failed us in this trying time and couldn't give us any market news.
Do you want to do that real quick?
Yeah. So,
the tech news.
From International Business Times, I have an article by Wesley Dockery. That's an interesting name, Dockery. The title is Tesla News, Elon Musk announces cool new features for electric car line, which is pretty dope.
Ooh.
So, I've never been much of a business market guy myself, like Peyton is. He did get me in the stocks a little bit, especially with Robinhood. But the closest I've ever gotten is in my economics class, my junior year of high school. We did a sort of like mock stock exchange where we invested in stocks, and my go-to was Tesla. So Tesla's always been the stock that I've sort of kept an eye on, especially because I had the highest earnings in that class because of my Tesla stock. I went from like $200 to $300. I had like 10 shares of it, so it was an easy way to get earnings. So, let's see. Earlier this year, Musk announced the Tesla Arcade service, which would allow drivers to play certain video games in their Tesla vehicles.
See that.
Yeah.
That's so cool. You can play like Cuphead.
Cuphead would just make me pissed off while I'm driving. That might be like add to some road rage, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The arcade games allow players to use the steering wheel on the vehicle as a controller
while it's on autopilot.
Okay, while it's on autopilot makes me feel a lot better. The arcade service currently offers the Buggy Beach racing game and some Atari games, but will soon feature a classic board game for the tactically minded chess. Oh,
what
so
if
it's going to
you
include
could just
chess.
Play multiplayer with other Tesla owners, like drivers?
That'd be pretty dope. Like if you meet somebody on the interstate, you can like play like online with them. That'd be pretty dope.
Then you think you're an autopilot, like doing this racing game, but you really aren't, and you're like going 200 on the freaking interstate.
I think that's a great idea.
I think so too.
Tesla still has a big challenge with self-driving cars. On Thursday, the Center for Auto Safety and Consumer Watchdog refiled a request with the Federal Trade Commission to investigate Tesla's autopilot safety features, which is probably a good idea. Video streaming... another interesting feature must noted was that Teslas would soon add video while moving once the self-driving is approved by regulators.
So like movies?
Yep, video streaming isn't a huge revelation for Tesla owners, as Musk stated at the 2019 E3 Expo in Los Angeles that he would introduce YouTube to Tesla vehicles. In another tweet, Musk said that Tesla owners could soon schedule Tesla service appointments in under a minute with the Tesla phone app, which is pretty dope. I think Netflix is mentioned somewhere in there as well, which is also pretty nice.
Have you seen those like Instagram posts where the guy is in his Tesla sleeping?
I have. I want a Tesla. A Tesla is my dream car. Elon Musk, if you are perchance a tech boy and you would like to a tech boy and you would like to support your podcasters here, especially me, the special guest star, I'd like a Model S, or it's called a Model S, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I'd like a Model S.
You know your fucking Tesla.
I'll take any Tesla. Peyton will be fine. He didn't guest star on this. He had his whole family trip. Hospital trip. Yeah. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
He hates Elon.
Yeah. Don't worry about him. Just get me and Tanner a Tesla. We'll be good.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I think I had another article. I can't find it. The other article that I had was concerning Disney at the Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, Comic-Con International, and their announcements for Phase 4, which includes She-Thor, or something like that, or Thor of Love and Madness, or something like that. I should remember the articles, the names of the movies, and I should have had the article.
There was a whole bunch of them, weren't there?
There were, and this is all like on the curtails of their Disney Plus app, which I think is expected to make about 7 million or something like that for them. I should have had the article ready. I do apologize for my unprofessionality, but still, it's a pretty interesting team, and a pretty interesting sort of thing to look at, especially with how massive Disney is coming along. Personally, I am a huge Marvel fan. I've been watching a lot of Marvel movies. So to see Phase 4 be announced is really nice. Like I said, there was a new Doctor Strange. There's the new Thor movie that's going to involve the woman version of Thor, played by Gwyneth Paltrow. Then I believe that there's the WandaVision. They announced that's going to be in cooperation with the Doctor Strange movie. I think those two are going to... Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, I think those are going to play together. They're having the Loki series that's going to be on Disney Plus that concerns what happened with Loki when he had the Tesseract and Endgame. And then I think there's also the Captain America series that Steve Rogers or Chris Evans, is going to star on for his last role as Captain America. And yeah, there's a couple others. I think there's something with Black Panther in there, but I'm very interested to see Phase 4. Very excited. Phase 4
is going to be super cool.
Very excited. Over this past week, I watched 2 Disney movies. I watched Lion King, and I watched Spider-Man Far From Home. Huge fan of Spider-Man. One of my favorites.
So good.
I'm very excited about that. And that was a really good movie. Very happy about that. Mysterio was awesome. Loved all the special effects. Really fun movie. Really recommend it. And I also watched Lion King, which I believe Tanner has some news about.
Oh, yes, I do. This one is over at GameSpot by Eddie Makouch.
Ooh, Makouch.
This one is about their record-breaking, what is it called? Box office?
Right.
Like their earnings. So the Lion King made around $185 million in North America for its first 3 days. And with international numbers, The Lion King has now made $531 million thus far, which includes the $97 billion from China, where it opened a week earlier.
Right, I remember you guys talking about that.
$97 million, which is actually really good for like a Chinese. Like I had no idea The Lion King was that big in China, which is weird.
Right, no, I was very interested. Disney has a very big presence in China, if I do remember right.
So here's the July 19th through 21st U.S. And Canada box office.
Wow.
The Lion King is a number 1 with $185 million. Spider-Man Far From Home second with $21 million. Toy Story 4 $14 million. Then Crawl, and then under that is Yesterday, Stuber, Aladdin, Annabelle Comes Home, Miss Damar, and The Secret Life of Pets 2.
Midsummer is very interesting. I've been meaning to watch that. Unfortunately, it's out of theaters by now, but I've been very...
What is Midsummer about?
It's a horror film. I'm not sure what the sort of... I actually don't know the plot behind it, but it's just it's a more artsy film, which is really nice to see something more artsy hit the mainstream media. I think it's along the lines of something... Not necessarily in terms of the documentary that My Friend Dahmer was, but more like along the lines of this sort of indie feel that My Friend Dahmer had. And so I think, like I said, it's going to be that more artsy appeal to the mainstream media, mainstream pop culture. And I'm very interested in that, especially because, like, if you look at this top 10 list that we just talked about, I think 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 of those movies are Disney movies.
I think 5.
5. I don't know
about Secret Life of Pets 2, but
Toy Story is a Disney movie.
Yeah,
correct? Yeah,
Disney Pixar.
Yeah, so and Aladdin, of course, and then Lion King and Spider-Man. So like we were talking about earlier, Disney's become a really huge conglomerate, which is really Tanner just licked his mouse. Very interesting. No, it's very.
Talk about mice later.
It's very odd to watch Disney become this big, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest with you, because the more I look and think about things, the more I see Disney almost everywhere I look. And I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Everywhere I go, I see his face.
Everywhere I go, I see his face. I love Spider-Man Far From Home. Really great movie. I'm surprised that it only hit 21 million, honestly.
That's just the 19th to the 20th.
Oh, okay. That makes sense, because I saw something about them breaking like 100.
I'll look up the total real quick.
Yeah, I saw something about them breaking like 100 million or something like that. So I actually watched Lion King, like I said, over the week, and I was talking with Tanner about it, and if I'm being completely honest, I'm not impressed. I thought it could have been much better. Well, to be honest, I don't understand the point of it. I really don't, because...
Including international, Spider-Man Far From Home made $1 billion.
Woo! Okay, that's the stuff I like to see. Because, yeah, I did see an article about them breaking 1 billion, or Tom Holland posted about it or something like that. But no, I watched The Lion King, I really wasn't impressed by it. So the opening shot, it starts with them singing The Circle of Life, which they have it, rather than the animals are singing Circle of Life, they have it played over like these establishing shots of Pride Rock. And really, it just doesn't bring you into the movie. It really doesn't. And a lot of the voice acting and the pacing was awkward and sort of unconvincing. And maybe this is just an old guy watching a kid's movie. You know, I'm 19. Kids' movies aren't necessarily my go of things, but like the humor was just really awkward. Like there was maybe one joke that made me laugh, and it was when Timon was singing "Be Our Guest." I cracked up at that, but other than that, I just didn't really laugh, and I wasn't very impressed. There were a couple of like pretty shots, especially when Simba was like in the jungle. I will say Donald Glover, amazing voice actor. He's one of my favorite actors in general. I'm always a fan of his, but other than that, wasn't really a fan of any of the other voice actors. I thought John Oliver really took me out of the experience. I don't know why we needed like sort of this late night talk show host to be a part of this African savannah. It's almost like Lion King didn't know what kind of movie it wanted to be. If it wanted to be this charming like kids movie that is supposed to be like, you know, like poking fun and all laughs and stuff like that, or if it wanted to be this serious look at like the African savannah wildlife and stuff like that. And it was a very hard movie to sit through, especially with their stylistic choices. I mean, like remaking it in sort of almost like a live action remake didn't make a lot of sense. A lot of the character models were unexpressive, and you didn't really get much from that. Whereas in the old movie, the animated movie, you could actually see their expressions and their joy and stuff like that. And there was much more whimsy to how they acted. And Tanner and I were talking about this. They have like all these different remakes lined up. Like we talked about Mulan, we talked about, I think there's a new Maleficent, stuff like that. And I like Mulan, they're not going to have Eddie Murphy come back as the dragon in any way. And like Eddie Murphy's the dragon is like part of what added to the whimsy of Mulan. And I really don't know what Disney's going for. I think, I'm sad to say it, but I really think when it comes to their remakes, they're really just trying to cash in on people's nostalgia, and they're trying to get people to come to the box office to be like, oh hey, I loved Aladdin as a kid, let me watch Aladdin and see how I can like relive that experience as a kid. And instead they get this watered down remake where, and I shouldn't be talking about Aladdin, but like instead they're getting this watered down like Lion King remake where it doesn't really even compare to the sort of giant that the Lion King was in its prime.
I think depending on the movie, it's like kind of the nostalgia it has, like when it was made, how good it did as an animation film in the first place. But like this, they're almost at $1 billion for the Lion King worldwide.
Right. And I think that they had a good ad campaign and they're pulling people in the right way, because I mean, part of why people are going to see the Lion King is because it's we know what it is. We already, it's a huge part of all of our childhoods. People want to like bring their kids in to see it. And I mean, I get it. But it just, it doesn't live up to the shadow that it was in. And don't get me wrong, I understand nostalgia being like, I think nostalgia can be used for good. So like, this is some spoilers from Spider-Man Far From Home. If anybody hasn't watched it yet, like, just heads up, spoilers. But at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, in the post-credit scene, they bring in J. Jonah Jameson, who is played by J.K. Rowling's fellow Illuminati. Very, very proud of that. But they bring back J.K. Rowling's, which was amazing, just because he was such a big part of our childhood in playing JJ in the original Spider-Man trilogy, the Sam Raimi trilogy. Not to mention, I believe he voice acted a couple times for like the animated Spider-Man and stuff like that. I'm not sure about that though, but he was just such a big part of our childhoods, and he was even today in pop culture, there's all the different like memes with him and stuff in that. And I think that in that respect, Disney and Marvel did a really good job of reworking nostalgia to work in line with this new era that they're in, like Maleficent. Even I think they did a good job of telling a new story. Lion King didn't tell a new story. No. It stuck to the script, and it really disrespected it dishonored the script by doing that, because it was boring, it was flat. I just didn't. It didn't bring me to Pride Rock. I wasn't in Pride Rock.
I went to it with my girlfriend, and I remember multiple times after the movie just kind of looking over and being like, I really don't know where this is going right now.
Right. And like, I honestly would have preferred, like, I understand why they didn't deviate from like the original plot of The Lion King, but I almost would have preferred if they told a different story, just because that would have been something new.
Yeah.
And something that they had more variety to work with, rather than like just sort of the flat, expressionless, like animals singing Hakuna Matata. Like, come on, like that just doesn't bring me into the movie, It just makes me think like, wow, this reminds me of Lion King from when I was a kid. But it doesn't bring anything to the table. Anyways, enough of my little Lion King rant. Sorry about that.
All right. So the last news story we have for this week is about the last gen's Logitech G502 gaming mouse. Dropped to $35, but you can definitely this right here says it can get a $10 off coupon code on Amazon. So that's a $25 mouse, which used to be upwards of $60, I think. Which is its last gen. So you only have the 12,000 DPI sensor, but again, it's one of their flagship mice that works really well. Personally, I still am going to stick with the Pro Wireless. I'm going to get the Power Play soon enough, so it just wirelessly charges and cool stuff. But there was that for you guys. And I believe that's all the news we have.
I'm sorry, but I can't stop looking at this little ad in the corner here. Fallout 4 modders make Preston Gravy 6 inches tall and give him a chipmunk voice. Very nice ad. No, I was never. I was big into the PC gaming scene for a while, and then I kind of fell out of it. Just got busy with college and stuff like that. But I'm very interested into sort of trying to come back to it. You know, get new hardware for my PC and stuff like that. I think right now I just use a very nondescript Logitech mouse that I don't know what like
this right here,
something like that, like two hotkeys, stuff like that.
$20 wireless mouse. It works great. This just for desktop work, you know, simple stuff like that.
Not for doing something like Madden, Fallout 4 to make Preston Garvey 6 inches tall and give him a chipmunk voice.
It has like the same batteries I put in there when I first got it. So I mean, like battery life is great.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, this is probably just due to my ignorance, but I don't really understand the purpose of like a higher grade mouse other than like the hotkeys.
There's been some tests. Like obviously, like I don't really care for hotkeys. I just want the 2 side buttons.
Right.
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 The Pro Wireless has the 2 side buttons and it has a. You can switch out the right side if you're left-handed and swap these out. But I can program and do different stuff. So I had the right side back button put in for my DPI switch for CS:GO.
Okay.
But really, the gaming mouse is like just faster reaction time. So if I push this mouse right now, it takes like probably 30 or no. Oh, there's a dog in the back. Like 100 so milliseconds till it actually moves, which you can't really tell with the human eye. But like they've done like high speed camera tests and stuff like that.
So basically, what I'm getting from this is that if I was good, that would make me want to get a better gaming mouse because then I would be able to utilize that reaction time. Right now, I don't think my reaction time could keep up with the mouse anyways. So
we'll get you back into it.
Oh, don't worry. I'd be happy to get back into CS:GO. Yes. We had some good times with CS:GO. So I think that's all of our articles, right?
Yeah. So if you guys didn't know already, this has been Tech Boys.
Yeah. We only said episode 1, so Okay.
Just make Peyton make it up.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'll do it.
We're gonna do this real quick. Let's put some Coke in there.
Oh, spicy. We got some carbonation.
Ooh. Oh. Ooh. That doesn't look too good.
Peyton,
we don't put any Tapatio.
Peyton, if you love me, you will make it up and do something interesting for me next podcast. This is almost like a rum chata shot or something like that. Because it's like the carbonation and then the Coke. Then the milk and then it's a very weird like brownish texture.
Yes, it does. Ooh, on the top. Ooh.
I don't like the Tapatio residue on the top.
Comment down below as always. Tell us what word for next week.
Oh God, the Coke made it so much worse. The Coke made it so much worse. Oh, that was terrible. Oh, that tasted terrible. Yeah, no, thank you for having. Yeah. Thank you for having me on, Tanner. I very much enjoyed guest starring on today's podcast. It was very interesting. I love being able to give my 2 cents, and I'm going to continue to listen and
it was
watch.
Really fun.
Yeah, no, I'm a huge fan of Tech Boys, and I hope to see it go far. I really do. Maybe, who knows, maybe I'll be able to get started again sometime.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you on again. It was super fun.
Maybe after Peyton recovers, and we can all 3 be on, and I can give him some hell.
Definitely.
That'll be good.
So, Until then, please like and subscribe.
Yeah, and comment. If you're watching, I encourage you to comment.
We like to read the comments.
Yeah, no, it makes it much more enjoyable. If you're just leave something. Whatever's on your mind. Comment on something that we said. Like, give your opinion on why you think Lion King is good and I'm terrible. I have terrible opinions or something like that. I can take it. But yeah, thank you again for having me on, Tanner.
All right. Well, that should be bye for now.
Here comes the outro music. The Spice Girl. I actually don't know.
I can't believe I forgot that melody. All right.
Perfect.
We'll see you guys next week.